Bundesliga is finally over, so let's highlight the best moments of this season and also let's talk about the results of this season. So let's start from the top to the bottom. Yeah, Bayern Munich has returned their title after last year's Bayer Leverkusen incredible result. Now Hurricane has finally destroyed his curse, so Kane curse is no more. Bayern Munich is finally the champion again, and they will be playing in Champions League, of course. Bayer Leverkusen, they were trying as much as possible to follow Bayern Munich, but they couldn't hold it till the end. Eintracht Frankfurt has managed to guarantee themselves Champions League in the final round. It was just the possibility for them to play in the Champions League, and the main game was against Freiburg. So if you can see just -3 points for Eintracht, and that was a question if they can actually make it to the Champions League. And Freiburg actually was the team that was expected to get to the Champions League, but their final battle with Eintracht, they ended losing it, even though they scored first, Dawn on the 27th minutes, and then Knauf just in the stoppage time for the first half scored an equalizer. In the second half, Christensen and Shkiri, just with the 2 minutes interval, scored two more goals, and Freiburg was eliminated from Champions League for the next season. So yeah, that made possible for Eintracht to go to the tournament. And also, Dortmund was really heavily invested in Eintracht winning their game because, in that case, if they would have won over Holstein Kiel, who was already relegated and had no chances to even go to the knockout games. And Dortmund won their game, and as Freiburg lost to Eintracht, Dortmund finally managed to overcome all their struggles that they had this season with the new coach and no game. So everything was not in favor of Dortmund. They were relegated from Champions League at some point, and still they managed to return to it for the next season. It's a great result for them. Also, it's a disappointment for Freiburg because they were really close to the Champions League, but they will be playing in the Europa League group phase, so I think that's also like not that bad result for this team. As for the Mainz, it was rather a disappointment closer to the end of the season. They didn't have much chances to go to the Champions League, obviously, but they just wanted to get to the Euro Cups. Even though Mainz was on the third place, almost a bigger part of the season, they had the last battle with Bayer Leverkusen, and as you can see, it was a hell of a battle. Mainz scored the first goal in the 16 minutes, which was ruled out to the offside. Also, Grimaldo was injured. Then Mainz scored the second goal, which also was ruled out because of the fall. And after that, they have finally scored the first goal that became legal. But in the second half, Patrick Schick scored two goals, one from the penalty, other from Garcia's assist. And just like almost 10 minutes later, Burkhardt from penalty spot also scored an equalizer for Mainz. And yeah, in the end, Mainz also scored another goal. Bell scored it, but it was also ruled out. And because of that reason, Mainz celebration was cut short. But still, they managed to make it to the uh, Conference League playoff, so they will have a good opportunity to anyway play in the Euro Cups next season. Not Champions League, not even Europa League, but still Conference League. It's like a bonus for them as they haven't played in the Euro Cups for quite a bit long time right now. Red Bull Leipzig, they also had nice chances to uh, overcome Mainz. They just needed to take 3 points from Stuttgart. Stuttgart didn't have any chance to go to the Euro Cups through the championship, only winning the cup. We will talk about it just a little bit later. And Red Bull Leipzig was really close. Simon scored at the 8th minute. Undav, after Mittelstadt's assist, scored an equalizer. Baku scored from Simons' assist, and Leipzig was close to their dream. But in the second half, Voltemade from Mittelstadt's second assist and also Demirovic from Undav's assist scored their 2 goals. Openda scored also another goal, but it was ruled out because of the foul, and also Red Bull Leipzig lost Poulsen for some time. And that's why Stuttgart just stopped Red Bull Leipzig from Eurocups in the next season. By the way, Stuttgart themselves, let's quickly jump on the German Cup final. They have won over Arminia Bielefeld. And in the first half, I would say that the game was pretty much over. Armenia was not actually noticed on the field. They had made so many mistakes that Stuttgart just had no choice to score. They could have scored even more. There were just like 4 players of Stuttgart just passing to each other in front of the goal with one goalkeeper and one defender. They were just playing like cat versus mouse, and it was really fun to watch for Stuttgart players involved in this situation. For the fans, they were just expecting to just score already, and they scored 3 goals. They could have scored 5 or 6 goals in the first half, and in the second half, Armenia tried to do something about it. Then Stuttgart scored the first goal. They also had a few moments, and to be honest, after that point, I just decided to look at PSG Reims, which were playing at the same time, just an hour later, and there was nothing interesting in that match. Anyway, all of a sudden, Armenia decided to play because Stuttgart actually dropped the game because 4-0, 10 minutes to go, not much time has left, and not much hope for Armenia. But Armenia scored not 1 but 2 goals. Kanya, who subbed Gradovsky, scored just 2 minutes after coming from sub, and also then Venyoman from Stuttgart scored another goal. And yeah, that's all that Armenia managed to squeeze out of this situation. So Stuttgart won the German Cup and will be playing in the Europa League group stage next season. Basically, their season was kind of recovered. Werder Bremen was playing radically good second half of the season, because you can see 11 losses. Werder managed to get those in the first half of the season, and then they had pretty much good games, but lots of draws with not the strongest teams such as stpauli, Union Berlin. They have lost some points that were crucial for them to get to the Euro Cups. And as you can see, they just missed probably 2 points to get the sixth place, which Mainz held it. So yeah, good season from Werder Bremen and good expectations for the next one, even though no Euro Cups this season. Monchengladbach was also playing good, but all of a sudden, probably because of the injuries and the tiredness of the players, they just were destroyed in the last half of the season. So you see, they have lost to Dortmund, 4-3 to Kiel, played a wonderful game with Hoffenheim. So many goals, so much fun, but in terms of results, that was a disaster for them. Then they lost to Bayern Munich, that was obvious, and even to Wolfsburg. So yeah, bad end of the season. Even though they tried, they did their best, but they couldn't hold it. Wolfsburg played their general season. They were fighting for survival, and then when they completed this mission, they just dropped playing. The same goes for Augsburg and Union Berlin, who just point by point tried to squeeze something of their season. St. Pauli, Hoffenheim, they were really close for relegation, but managed to survive. Bochum and Kiel, they have the same number of lost games as Heidenheim, and basically those three teams they actually deserve their position, even though Bochum and Kiel made a couple of wonderful games, but still that couldn't save them. Heidenheim was just really close, but it was not as close as you may think because minus 27 goals as a goal difference, it's not the best result for a team to stay in Bundesliga. And they have gone to the knockouts phase, and their opponent were Elversberg. And as you can see, just a quick overview. Elversberg scored 2 goals in the first game. Also, one of the Heidenheim's goals was ruled out of the offside, and they were pretty much disappointed. But in the second half, triple change and Cienza became the hero of the game. He made 2 assists to Siersleben and Honsack, and Heidenheim managed to get a point, like to get a draw, which was more important, not a point at this stage, versus Elversberg in their home game. And in the second game, Honsack scored from Cienza's assist again, the third assist from Cienza. And as you can see, this was pretty much a tough battle. Some players were injured and replaced in the first half. Also, Eversberg scored an equalizer, and then they scored the second goal, which was also ruled out because of the offside. And Cienza became actually the hero of the game, using the Wonders' assist in the 95 minute and scoring the final goal for Heidenheim. But this thing is very interesting. As you can see, right after that, both teams made 2 changes. I don't know what was the reason for that because I didn't watch this game. But anyway, as you can see, 2 changes for both teams, and the referee actually added 5 minutes, so 5 minutes were over, and they played like 2 minutes after those changes more. So I don't know what's the reason for that, but anyway, that's what we're going with. And Heidenheim managed to survive, and we will be playing in the Bundesliga next season. Generally speaking, the last games of this last round you can see on your screen. I have looked through the most important and interesting one because it's no point to look at the Hoffenheim Bayern Munich 4-0, and also Dortmund won 3-0. So yeah, that's all for the Bundesliga overview. Hope you liked it. Please share your thoughts in the comments. If you wanted other teams to win, are you satisfied with those results? We will be watching Bundesliga next season, and also we will be rooting for some teams in the upcoming Euro Cups season. Meanwhile, stay safe and stay happy.